Which reminds me to tell you that lots of people look. Not everybody sees too well.
What the hell was that?
Bullshit. Bullshit. Bullshit.
It's fake as fuck!
Bullshit.
Phony fake show dead giveaways.
When in the hell are you going to wake up? Holy cow! Holy cow!
G'day. This whole Manhattan car ramming thing is just laughable. It's as laughable as this story I did a little while ago. Yeah, here I'll play it for you. But before I play you that, I'll play you a little bit more from the Terrible Tim video that I used a little bit of at the end there. It's a cracker. I will leave a link for it underneath so you can go and check out the whole thing. He's been a little under the weather, so you sort of get a bit of a sore throat from watching him, but here's a little bit.
Yeah, maybe I'll attach this video that I did a few years back where I show you that the Bed-Stuyvesant phony fake assassination where they allegedly shot these two cops. I show you how the CPR that they did on this guy was done to his left arm. It's fake as fuck. This is around November 2014, I believe. That fake attack, that ISIS attack on these police officers. You tell me, should they be pushing on the guy's chest with this CPR? Or should they be pushing up and down on the guy's left arm? You can make up your own mind. Then we had that fake Times Square car attack over the summer. This is not their first rodeo. The police don't always do what you think they do. Sometimes they participate in phony fake shows to get people scared of ISIS and to give up their security and their rights. In my mind, you have to be exceptionally dumb not to see this, not to get this. And I've heard all the weird, whacked out excuses that they weren't certified that year maybe, so they forgot how to do CPR. The guy with that stuff all over the back of his jacket is a FDNY, Fire Department of New York, EMT, Emergency Medical Technician. They know where the arm is. They know where the heart is. You, as the average Joe schmuck, who might not have medical training can tell the difference between the chest and the arm.
Yep, there is a huge difference between the arm and the chest and the heart therein. Absolutely ridiculous. That story, plus the whole Manhattan garbage. And I'll finish with a copy of the other video I was talking about. Another equally laughable bullshit event passed off as real. G'day. Yesterday I shared this video with you. It was of an incident that took place in the Melbourne CBD on Swanston Street and ended at the intersection of Flinders Street and Swanston Street, just across the road from the Young and Jackson's Hotel. Anywho, not long after that I had posted that video that I didn't commentate on or anything, I just showed the straight video as you've probably already seen it. It was age restricted, so for graphic and violent content. So what I won't show you the graphic and violent content where the police attack him later on, and I also will not make a commentary on this video. I'm not going to make a comment about how odd it is that it's driving on the right-hand side of the road and pulls up in front of that tram and then reverses in a nice straight line. I'm not going to mention, not even going to mention the precision driving skills needed to execute a move like that. You'd have to practice a move like that, but I'm not going to mention that. I'm also not going to mention at all, because I can't see why it'd be worth mentioning, somebody approaching the driver's side door and spending a little bit of time there, because I'm not going to mention it. And I'm also not going to mention how somebody throws a bicycle into the rear of the car. And I'm not going to mention that the articles that I read relating to this incident said that somebody tried to stop the vehicle by throwing a bicycle at it. I'm not going to mention that the vehicle was already stopped when somebody threw a bicycle at the rear end of the car, and I'm not going to mention that how could you stop a vehicle by throwing a bike at its rear end, even if it was already stationary, because that would be silly. I'm not going to point out the way that this man walks around here, a 15-year-old boy, mind you, and I'm not going to say that, because there are some big 15-year-old lads, but that's not worth mentioning. I'm not going to mention that the way he walks around here is kind of like the way that the police do in their police training videos, if you want to go and have a look at some of those. I'm certainly not going to mention that white truck up there reversing down the wrong side of the road in a very slow and unusual manner. I'm not going to mention the bloke standing at the end there, at the end of the section, having a close look at what's going on. And I'm also not going to mention this person at the right-hand side of your screen in purple, very close to the action. I'm not going to mention that person and how that person seems to be giving direction of some description. And I'm also not going to mention all the love affair going on with Melbourne CBD and bollards everywhere at the moment to keep pedestrians safe from vehicles. And I'm not going to mention Victoria's new police shoot-to-kill laws. And I'm certainly not going to suggest that this event has anything to do with those two news articles. So, there you go. I'm just not mentioning it. I'm not going to talk about it, in fact. Oh, and I'm certainly not going to mention the fact that the perpetrator of this event was reported to be a 15-year-old lad. So therefore, conveniently, the media is forbidden to release his identity, picture or name or anything, really. So I won't mention that convenience. I won't mention anything. So I'll just leave it there then. Alright? Thank you very much for watching. Take care and goodbye.
All three stories featured in this video are obviously complete and utter bullshit events passed off as real.
And so, to finish this video, we'll end on the words that the video began with, because they are very, very true words indeed. Thank you. Bye.
Which reminds me to tell you that lots of people look. Not everybody sees too well. And lots of people listen, but few hear. So you must see when you look and hear when you listen.